And we are live, everybody. All right, let's do it. As people are kind of popping in, filtering in on Instagram and all over the world. Welcome, welcome. It is our monthly check-in. It's our monthly free mentorship meeting with FitFixNow. And this is just a great opportunity, kind of guests on the reg, and we tackle a different topic every month, which is so super fun because last month, if you missed it, everybody, we talked about, yes, I was on the move and pretty much was at every conference over the summer. And we talked about what the heck. Hello, Elian. And we talked last time about what are the fitness trends, like what was going on at Idea, what was going on with some of the fitness fests, what was going on we had Coach 360's education and career lab and the SCWs and the CanFit Pro, and we kind of dissected all of these different conferences. And those, again, were just a few from the summer in July. But we talked about what were the trends, what were we seeing. So go back and watch that mentor meeting from last month. It is always on our YouTube and of course lives on our Instagram. And you get it from us too. So whether you're joining us live, I'm taking a look at, Instagram. If you're on here, yes, you can ask any questions you want. Instagram, just write in your questions. We will absolutely answer them. And we do have a very special, there is a special kind of guest, OG. I don't know if you saw the handouts that came out as well. We've got some major, actually, there's some major people on here right now. I'm going to also say hello to Miss Elian Haan, who is pretty awesome. We're going to get to her in a moment. But Chan Gannaway, how the heck are you today?
I'm wonderful. You?
Always glorious. Rainbows and butterflies all day long. All day. All day. Very quickly, because for those of us who are like, who's Chan Gannaway? Because maybe some of us that are watching this, the reason why we do this meeting, are new to the fitness industry. That's why we do this. And people are sitting back right now going, okay, I like fitness, but like, how do I do this as a full-time career? And Christine, this is like your third career. Like, I don't want to have to do what you did and wait how many years. I want to do it now. So, first of all, tell everyone who you are. Give me some of those. Okay, what have you been involved in? Because I think it's pretty impressive. And then let's get into a little bit of how you were able to do that. And go.
Yeah, so I fell into the fitness industry at a mad dash sprint of a triathlon state championship because the guy that beat me by 3 feet had the same age group on his calf. And we started laughing and cutting up and having a conversation. This was back in probably mid 90s. And he happened to be a general manager for Bally Total Fitness. And he's like, what do you do for a living? I'm like, I'm with New York Life Insurance, following my dad's footsteps. I hate every minute of it. Let me break that down. I hated every second of it. So then he's like, well, but you're doing all this fitness and you're putting on races and you're creating triathlons in Louisiana where you live. And why don't you just make fitness a career? So that's how I literally ran into the fitness industry, was this guy going, why don't you come interview and move to Dallas and come work for Bally's? I'm like, can you make money? And he's like, yeah, you can make money. You'll be a head trainer. You already know sales. You'll be fine. So spring forward like a whole bunch of years. The big landing for me was with Club One in Northern California as the PT regional director. The next big thing for me, where my break was like, really, I get to do this? And that was being the founding fitness and education director for Orange Theory Fitness. That was a big deal because there were 3 locations open when I got there. When I left, there were close to 500. So I had a really amazing journey watching that happen and being, at the table, watching all this growth happen. And now, of course, they're in 25 countries and 1,500 studios later. And then created some programming for Grit Boxing and Fitness in Manhattan. And then the last 4 years of my life as the programming director and education director for Mayweather Boxing and Fitness. Just left that about 6 to 8 weeks ago. So I'm a free agent for the first time in years. So I'm actually feeling some of the uncertainty that maybe some of you on this call or some of you that watch this recording will be feeling, because I'm actually in it looking for my next thing that I'm passionate and excited about. So we're in this together, you guys.
Oh, I love that. I love it. I love it. So this is what I'm hearing for all of the people in, in that, whether you're just getting started, maybe you're in college right now, um, start working at gyms, right? Start surrounding yourself with fitness. And if you love working out, keep doing that. Yet it's not going to happen overnight, right? Like I'm just throwing that out there. Like you said, fast forward a little bit. There's some time. You did something that you realized, you know what, I had a career because I needed to pay my bills. And that's something I think is really big, because people think like, hey, I'm gonna get my certification to PT over the weekend, which still blows my mind. Everyone, please study, please take your exercise science classes, take your continuing ed, do all the learning. But then you're not gonna, I mean, very few. It's just like getting, being an Olympian. Like, what are the percentages you're gonna be an Olympian? Like, what are percentages you're gonna all of a sudden just meet a celebrity and they're gonna pay you a shit ton of money to go train them in LA? It's again that time, like you said, of all right, but you also had another job that helped supplement income.
Mhm.
And I think that that's a conversation that we
Yep.
have to have with people. Like, if you're working one place, yeah, you may need to, let's like an actor, like you may need to wait tables before, like you said, you had like some bigger breaks or bigger opportunities. I think people are afraid, like, but I should just do one thing. Well, you know what? Sometimes in order to achieve the dream of one thing, you might need to do many other things as you grow.
100%, man. And don't think I wasn't teaching cycling classes at private studios while I was trying to build up my personal training, while I was kind of leaving the sales corporate world. So, yeah, I think it's a great point you make. Do not be afraid at any level to start doing this 5, 10, 15 hours a week while you have something that pays your rent. By the way, the only way I was able to actually move to Dallas, Texas and go to work for Bally's, the only reason financially that I could do that, they put me up in a corporate apartment for 2 months to
Ooh,
help me.
wow.
So my point is, sometimes you need to get help. Sometimes if you want to dive into a career that you're passionate about. I didn't know, by the way, that my superpower would be engaging with people about fitness. I had no idea that was going to be my superpower. So you have to figure that out too. You can be passionate about it, but those people skills, man, just talking to strangers and be fitness is so hungry for people with very little ego that are just willing to talk about fitness and training. It's actually not that difficult to be successful, but you have to have those skill sets or get comfortable with those skill sets.
All right, Elian, let's bring you on for a second, who also worked at
Wait a
Bally's in
second.
Dallas.
Okay. Bally Total Fitness, Parker Road, North Plano, 1997 to 1999. There you go.
1996 to 1999. The Beltline location, Beltline in
Yes.
Addison, and
Yeah,
the
you were a little
Parker
bit south of
location.
me. Yeah,
Yeah,
just a little bit
yeah,
south.
yeah.
Scott Holzhauser was my boss, my first boss.
Yes, yeah, 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 yeah.
Elian,
Yeah.
are you serious right now?
Serious. Yes, yes. What was,
I love it. And look, we were very fortunate to have Cooper's Institute right there in Dallas as well,
yes, yes,
because all
absolutely.
the good stuff was sitting over at Cooper's Institute. Oh
That's
my
where I got
God.
trained in step aerobics and all that fun stuff. Oh my
I
goodness.
love this.
I taught classes at 6 a.m. in the morning. I can't believe it, for our
No thanks.
corporate gang.
I'm
Yeah.
good. That's you and Christine's deal. Y'all can take the early AM shift. I'm more of a
No,
7, 8 a.m. guy.
no, I'm not early. Come on
Excuse
now.
me, Miss Iron Girl. You're up at 4 in the morning.
Yeah, when they
Yeah.
make me get up at 4 in the morning to get to a race. Otherwise, like, for for, you know, most people know that I was in corporate banking, and then I was teaching, and I was forced to get up every morning super early and be on an alarm clock and be again, be on
Yes,
bells. Like it was like you're you know, Pavlovian lifestyle. And
100%.
I, you know, that was one of the things that I decided was I want to be able to, if I have to get up early, it's because I scheduled it. And it's totally different when you do it to yourself versus someone else says you have to do it. I think it's totally different.
That's it. I think that's what she just said. It's like they're paying me. I'm going to get up and I'm going to do this. But yeah, I taught a couple of 5:30 a.m. cycling classes at Bally's on Parker Road in Dallas,
Yeah.
Texas, and
Yeah.
I hated every second of that alarm clock going off at 4:30 because I had a 20-minute drive, you know, to go north. But sometimes that grind is in the first couple of years, and then of course, you know, the grind becomes a little bit less as far as the horrible schedule. But I couldn't tell you how much I have enjoyed being in this career because it is so diverse. It is so multifaceted. And by the way, do lots of things in fitness. Don't do this. Be open to teaching group training. You don't have to know an 8 count or a 16 count. You can still teach group strength classes. So be open to getting uncomfortable and maybe doing things in fitness that maybe you didn't think that was your natural jam. And I think it'll not only raise your income, but it'll increase your skill set. And diverse skill sets, as these two ladies know on this call, will get interest from people wanting to hire you because you have this diverse skill set.
All right. Before we, there's more. Elian, can you stick around for another couple minutes? You okay? Okay, good. Because what I would love, this is great. This is the real stuff, right? For everyone out there, when you're talking about like do the things like, you know, maybe you have to do different multiple, you're getting up at 6 in the morning for that or 4 in the morning for this. I would love for all of us, I'm gonna throw myself under the bus as well. To talk about some of the things that you did or had to do, right? Let's talk about the fitness business, right? Because the three of us on here right now are successful in the fitness world. Let's throw that out there. And Elian, I want you to kind of talk about what you do as well, since you're here. Really, really important. So I remember, I'm going to tell you this, and you're gonna laugh. Like I said, I was in business, I was in teaching, professor, coaching, did all the things. Never really had to worry about, oh my gosh, where am I getting my next paycheck? And when I decided to take the leap of faith, because I wasn't someone who had saved up millions of dollars, like Chan, to your point, like, yeah, I needed some help in some way. But what I did when I literally quit teaching was like, I have to go for this. I'm going to regret it. I know this is where I'm supposed to be. I remember saying, okay, well, I'm going to take this time. I've got to make money, but I also know that I'm working on courses. I'm writing courses. I was writing my book. I was, you know, doing all these things that I knew for the future I couldn't do while I was working full time. I needed to do it now. And I was planning, you know, kind of paving that way. But in the meantime, I also had bills that was not paying themselves. So this is when I started saying, okay, well, right now, what I can do is rearrange a schedule of, I can do some personal training in home. I can do some, and I will never forget this. This is when I had a friend that had bought the rights to our area for Orange Theory. And I came in and was coaching and you know, eventually was like the head coach and was running his little region for him for a little bit. But that was how I was supporting on it like a daily basis, my bigger dreams. But I have to tell you, I will never forget this. When I came in, it was Christine over here, who's, you know, always had all the things, didn't really have to worry about much. You know, okay, well, I can't do this and I can't go out to eat and I can't get that and I can't get my nails done and I can't, like, it was all the things that it was very humbling. And then there was the day that I was told in Orange Theory, here's the mop. You need to mop the studio before you leave. You need to mop every treadmill before you leave. You also need to make sure the bathrooms are clean. You may want to clean the bathrooms and the toilet and you know, check the toilet paper. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, say what? You want to mop? Like me? Like you want me to mop? Like that we don't have people that come in and do this. I was like, what in the hell is happening? I went from like corporate. I made it. This is my going to be like a third career, never to really worry about paying my bills, to here's a mop. And I'm like, wow, okay. But like, I'm curious as to what moments you had, because guess what? That mop, I mopped the hell out of that studio. I cleaned it. And I always think of like, what you do when no one's looking is your character. And I remember thinking, well, this is what I need to do. And I want to learn and I want to know what it's like, because people were working for me, and you want to treat people with respect. I don't care if you're a garbage man or you're own a skyscraper, like you're a person. And I just thought that was really, I don't know. I'm curious as to what moments that you had, like my mop. Here's your mop.
Elian, give your mop moment. Go for it.
Oh my gosh, I mop every day. I own a studio.
He's
These
like,
floors
"What?
need
It
to
never
be
stops."
cleaned. These bathrooms need to be cleaned. It's all constantly about barefoot workout on clean floors. So clean chairs, clean mats, the whole bit. So it's always ongoing. All equipment needs to be cleaned, sprayed, and I have my days that I absolutely hate it. I have that studio for 20 years now. I'm like, there's no way that I can keep a studio and hire somebody to do my cleaning. So no, it's already, it's already a challenge, as it always is. But the good thing is it's mine. It's, I remember the early days. Was it not before Bally's that I worked at the President's Club? Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. The
Yeah.
President's Club became Bally's, and then it was 24 Fitness Gold Club all over the place. Yeah, I cleaned bathrooms. I know they made me. And yeah, and I think this, just like you said, it defines you, that grind, just do it. Don't complain about it. It's part of the deal. The only thing that I didn't like is they didn't pay us in the days. They didn't pay us. Not even if I cleaned the whole club, they wouldn't pay us. So that part was always difficult. And I think we've really worked on improving that in the business overall. That's what you're doing, Christine, a lot. I think we're all working on just becoming believable, and we really change lives. So we should be adding some value to that, right?
Mm,
So I've
right
learned that,
on.
I've learned that the hard way. Yeah, yeah, we're valuable. Yes.
Bathrooms. Just do it, right?
Just, yeah. Not the man's though.
Jen, tell us your mop moment.
Well, my posted schedule in the break room at Bally's was 10 to 10. Okay. That was my posted schedule. All right. So that gives you an idea of the work that went involved. And that particular club had a wet area, a 3-lane pool, a jacuzzi, hot tub, steam rooms. So who do you think closed the club at 10 o'clock at night? That was me. And Monday was my management night. So I not only got to clean and mop the group exercise store, put the bikes away, make sure they're all stacked, because all the spin bikes were in the group X room, the main room. And then I had to go and mop the pool deck, check all the chemicals in the pool and the hot tub, make sure nobody left anything that shouldn't be left in the steam in the sauna room. So yeah, those were the first 2 years of my fitness life, was that schedule. And on Monday nights, I'll never forget it, that was the long day, because I didn't leave the club till probably 11:30 on Mondays, and then had to be back there at 9. And the commute wasn't really that bad. It was probably 25, 30 minutes, but that was pretty rough. I think it was when I heard Elian talk about that, in a way, and this is very simplistic, those days teach you how to eventually at some point maybe be an owner of your own place. It teaches you what is going to be needed to have your own place, because you will not have the payroll to pay a cleaning company to come in Monday, Wednesday, Saturday afternoon. You're going to have to do it. My lovely wife owns a fitness studio. She's in her 4th year. Who do you think does probably 50 to 70% of the mopping in that studio, 3,000 square foot facility? She does. Okay. But of course, we're sick and twisted. I'm sure you ladies probably are too. It's just another workout to us. When we grab the mop now, it's like, okay, I'm getting oblique work and core work and shoulder work. Great. This is fun. So you have to be a little twisted sometimes. But those were kind of my mop moments. And then I actually owned a piece of an Orange Theory for 2 years. And this isn't a mop moment, but then it's a good one though. So I lived about an hour away from the studio where I was part owner. I coached about 8 workouts a week in that Orange Theory. This is in 2017, 18. If I had an instructor out who taught the 5 a.m.s or the 5:15 a.m.s, usually 2 days a week or 3 days a week, I would have to sometimes step in and sub. I lived an hour away. I wasn't getting up at 3 in the morning. So what did I do, you guys? I'll let you guess.
Oh no. Did you sleep in the back room?
With stretching mats and a Bosu as my pillow in the
I mean,
studio.
not a bad idea. Not a
I
bad
mean,
idea.
look, it could have been worse, right? Could have been worse. I brought my comforter from home. And so instead of getting up at 3 and driving an hour, or, and showering, eating breakfast, and then driving an hour, I'd say probably 6 to 8 times during that 2 years, I slept inside the studio on the rubber floors. It was so there's a moment
Wow.
for you right there, but it does prepare you
Yeah.
for hard things. They say do hard things, right? But that these are some great stories. I mean, this is the grind of being an owner or being new to the industry. And back in those days, to Ileana's point, we weren't getting paid for the cleaning. It was part of your salary or
Mhm.
part of your teaching hour included, Christine, you were part of this. It included cleaning and mopping. And so they are starting to get some controls around that, and the labor laws are changing. And so that's a good thing for you guys coming up.
Yeah.
That's a great point to talk about hours, right? Because sometimes you don't realize when you're negotiating salaries, yes, you know what, you don't always start out making a lot of money, right? Like you put in your time, you make yourself valuable by your education, by your experience. But even starting out, you don't have the years of experience, but you have the ability to get some education behind you. And then you have the ability to be a nice person and to talk, but also you should advocate for yourself. And that's something I never really truly realized when I was younger, was that someone might say, hey, we're going to give you, I'm throwing this out here, we're going to give you $30 for the class. And you're like, okay, that's fine. I'm going to get a workout in $30, not realizing it takes 15 minutes to get ready at home or whatever, right? It takes 15 minutes to get there. You have to be there at least 15 minutes early, sometimes more. And then you teach your class, and then you're probably there at least another 15 minutes. And now there's another 15 minutes home. Wow, that added up quick. So now that $30 is now a 3-hour adventure. And
Yeah.
now you're getting $10 an hour. And you know, there's there's a lot to be said for that, and what's your, we want you to continue being in the fitness industry. We want you to make people healthy because we need this. We're a very sick society, but there's a point where you need to speak up too. And and maybe, it's, what is it? You pay for what you get sometimes.
Yeah.
Think
Mhm.
about where you're teaching, think about, using that as a negotiating tool with your clients or your gyms. Like, yeah, you're all right. You want to pay $10 a month, you pay for what you get. What kind of education is behind some of the people that are instructing for $0?
That's right. That's right. And I think it's important to have the courage to do what you just talked about, but also the explanation of why you feel you should get 45 instead of 30. Like just a very, use the right tone, be professional. And there's not 12 people lined up to get a spinning coach position. I promise you. There used to be, but there's not 12 people lined up. So they need you too, right? And I think you have to always remember that if you think that you have the talent or you've already proven somewhere else that you have the talent, just know that they're not looking at 30 resumes of people trying to be a cycling coach or a personal trainer. So the industry needs people that are interested in working in the industry. So just know that I wouldn't say that you have leverage, but I think that they are in a position where they're not just, it's not a numbers game like it was 20 years ago. I think every person they hire now is very, very important. Not that it wasn't 20 years ago, but I hope I'm not confusing you, but there was a lot of people in 2000 coming into the industry. And there's just a little bit less of that. There's not such a long line. So you do have value, and maybe there's a teeny bit of leverage because I don't think there's people lined up like they used to
Why
be.
is it less now? What's going
You
on?
know, I think that people have taken a lot of their training online, so we don't have
Okay.
good numbers. So I think that's one thing. So we're not seeing the hired health club numbers that we used to, because I think a lot of people are at home and they don't go into that numbers. They don't go into the big, large number of professionals coming in or leaving. I will leave with this on that subject. If you have a hint of organization and management skills, I will tell you that the industry is short of talented people that want to manage other fitness professionals. So if you can open up to that and learn more about it, talk to other managers. If you're a trainer, talk to your managers. It doesn't matter if you work for that club or not. Have a conversation about it. The reason that I think I was pushed through and up the chain so quickly with Bally's is because I was open to the idea of managing, never having managed a human being in my life. But I had a good sales background and I liked and enjoyed talking to people. They helped me organize. I was a head trainer within 6 months, had no business being a head trainer at Bally's in 6 months, right? I had two credentials in the first 6 months, which, by the way, talking about education, you just mentioned it. In the first 6 months, my Scott Holzhauser, my regional at that time, he said, get as much education and certifications as you can in your first year. Then you just go, whoop, you just passed like 100 people trying to get a job. You passed them because you've got three credentials and they're barely working on their one. So that was the first thing that he had mentioned to me, even in the interview. In your first year, we're going to want you to go heavy, heavy, heavy into educating. So I got ACE and I got NASM right out of the gate, like right out of the gate. So now I'm speaking a different language on the floor than the other instructors. I have a little bit bigger language. And so then you have the sales part. So anyway, long story short, I think that if you can really be open to management and leading, you'll quickly, if there's multiple units, you'll quickly become a regional. Elian's an example. Christine's an example. She didn't just come into Orange Theory as a regional. Why do you think she became a regional? Because she was mentoring others probably on her free time. She was a great coach. She understood the product. She spoke a different language. She was organized. And all of a sudden, now she's running 6 stores. So I think that is a really good career path if you're into that and you just don't have the blinders on that you want to be a trainer and you can open your mind up to a little bit. There are incredible management opportunities. If you go on Indeed right now, Christine, and just look up fitness management, it's 10 pages of people needing managers inside the fitness space.
And by the way, you said it before that even though had ownership, you were still coaching.
Oh,
And even right now, people think like I still teach classes. You know
yes.
why? Because I love it. And I want to make sure that my hand, like I am never that person that's up here, leading from the pulpit saying, you need to do this. And no, I put my butt online. Like I teach some spin classes, I teach some yoga, I teach some strength. I put it into my schedule. Am I also running a bazillion other things with businesses? And yes, but you do it because that's your industry. It's like,
No question.
I don't, it blows my mind. So if you are someone that's like, oh, I'm going to be, I'm going into, but I want to just teach classes, do both. Like it,
Yes.
anyway,
That's a good way to spend a career. I promise you.
not
You're looking
bad.
at 3 people right now that have done it. And by the way, this morning at 9:15, I had the mic on my head teaching a boxing fitness workout at Mayweather Boxing and Fitness at my wife's studio because she has a trainer out of town all week. So I taught
Yeah.
3 hours ago, right?
Yes.
And it keeps me engaged in it. So then if I need to assess or manage or educate that team or that person, I know exactly what it is because I'm the one that's actually living it. And so I think it is incredibly important. And even if it's 1 or 2 classes a week, if you really go up, right? Still keep your hands in it so you understand the difficulties of being a great coach. You never want to lose the definition of what it is to be a great coach in your mind, whether it's trainer, individual, or in a group. You just don't ever want to lose that feeling of how difficult it actually is to do a great job at that. And it is not easy. I'm a geek, man. I'm a total geek. I was putting pressure on myself. I'm the education and programming director for this company for 4 years, and I'm on the mic teaching this morning, like, okay, man, I'm reviewing, I'm getting ready, I'm really preparing for the shadow boxing and the tutorial, just like I was new. And I think you have to force yourself to get that mentality.
I would love, all right, we're coming to the end of our time. But there was one thing that, was on our agenda earlier, and it was about it's fall. Okay. So it's fall and it's time to give everyone some ideas about something new, something maybe they could, put into their classes, or some ideas. Number one, I'm going to tell you, use Mr. Chat GPT to come up to brainstorm ideas for the fall. Okay. For classes. Please just use AI for some things that are like that. Okay. Please don't, write your thesis in college. Like those of us that work teachers, all right, use your own. However, ChatGPT is amazing. Fall ideas, fall, class titles, something. Okay, but I'm going to ask, since you're both here. All right, for the fall, I'm going to give one example. If you could think of anything, jump in. But one that I love is the pumpkin classes, right? Like you do stuff with a pumpkin, right? Like you bring a pumpkin, right? And it's great because it does grip work. Okay. You have people bring a pumpkin, or like whatever it is. If they forget, they can hold a medicine ball, but that's always my thing. It's like a pumpkin, like pumpkin strength or whatever. So like, have fun with it, everybody. That is my suggestion for the fall. Again, whether you're doing, some sort of twists or you're lifting over your head. I don't know. That's my every
It's
fall. Like,
freaking tastic.
Why aren't we doing this? So I see everyone online right now too. Yeah.
It's a great idea. I've already got an exercise library going in my head. Do you, Elian? I've already
Absolutely
got the exercise
great
library
idea.
with a pumpkin going.
Yeah, absolutely great. I can do it with my class, and I'm thinking it's just always, I call that the F word, or fitness. It's always about fun with friends, always, and functionality and fitness. Those are the 4 F words in my fitness, and they come because I make it fun. They come because they get to know each other. They come because they want to be together. They come because there's that social friendship aspect to it. So fun with friends and some functional fitness.
And
I
you can put the
love
word
that.
fall in there. There's your other F.
Yeah,
Oh,
fall, there you go. Yeah,
Friends,
there you
functional,
go.
fun.
fall with friends, absolutely. Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
So every year, no matter what boutique franchise I was working with, I came up with 8 weeks winter sports conditioning programming. So think about that as something you could put a tagline on or relabel that idea of winter sports conditioning, whether they're getting ready for snowboarding, skiing,
Great.
hockey, ice skating, whatever.
Yeah,
You start out with some real good strength work, but then you really quickly, by week 2, a lot of plyometrics, a lot of rotational work, lateral bounding, really getting their quads ready, getting their core and their hips ready. So that can be a fun camp or just a class that's on the schedule 2 or 3 days a week. But winter sport conditioning is great now because it'll give you about 3 months, because really the good snow doesn't start coming until really December, January. And so that's just an idea. And those are really fun programs to write. You need minimal toys, if you will, maybe a med ball or a pumpkin, for example. But really, I think that's a really fun program to design. And it will get them, in fact, ready to go have a nice 5 days of snow skiing without coming back beat up with a boot on.
I love it. And you make it relatable to life. That's the biggest thing. It's like, hey, we're doing this not just, skiing, or I'm not just skating, doing lateral skates. It's like, okay, this is pushing off. You're skiing. Like, imagine it. And now it's, and now it's real. So
Yeah, you
these are
could
great.
relabel it to hit training or hit skiing. Or it doesn't have to be about. That's why I like winter sports and not just kind of bottlenecking it into like somebody skiing down the hill. Just kind
Yeah.
of open it up. But anyway, just a fun idea.
yeah,
And
great idea.
And I'm going to throw out there that everybody, if you didn't realize, the Winter Olympics are this winter. So, Chan, I'm going to, great idea. All right. I'm such an Olympic fan. Like I'm like the person who's like waving the American flag, like sitting there at the couch, you know.
Is it in February? When is
It's
it?
February already, every 2 years now. So we got more
There you
Olympics coming up.
go. There you go.
Back to the Olympics. I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh. All right. This was amazing. I think that this was Elian. Thank you so much. Chan, thank you so much. And I know that everyone's watching. I see everyone, you know, popping up on Instagram. That we will get this. I can't wait for next month. The last thing I want to say though, before we end for today, is that both Elian and Chan are going to be making appearances on the FitFixNow website very soon. And Elian, very quickly, can you tell us just a little bit about what the course topic you're going to be sharing?
Is that what we talked about? A little bit more trauma informed?
Trauma, yeah.
Yeah. Trauma. Let's bring up some trauma. Yeah. Well, over the last couple of years, to try to make it short, I've been also moving more into the mental health awareness of the fitness industry, things that we didn't know, that we weren't aware of, what we needed to know, combining that with just what we should have now in every health club and fitness club in the fitness industry. We should be more aware of where people are at, where they're going to, what their support system is, where they're coming from, why they're not showing up, why they don't keep, you know, engaged, why they can't commit, things like that. And I teach a lot on that. So I'm putting a course together for you on that trauma-informed care on the mat and beyond. So I hope to get that done for you.
Yeah. I love it. So a lot more mental health you're going to see coming out here. So I'm excited to get that going. And then Chan, something a little bit different.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, it's been my rock for 28 years. And that is mastering exercise mechanics and coaching movement. I think it is becoming a lost art. And I think if you can bring that back and know what you're actually observing and then know what to say, I think you will grow your clientele. If that's your business and that's your goal, it is a wonderful way to grow your business, and that is to keep people safe and be heard coaching with high level exercise mechanic coaching. I just think it's such a thing that needs to be prominent in our industry.
It's too bad you have no experience with that, you know?
You know where it started, Christine? Cooper's Institute, biomechanics specialty class. And I went, oof. And then I went to Cal State Fullerton and learned from Tom Purvis, who used to be an incredible educator in the industry. And he broke it down for 3 days. I thought I knew some stuff when I went there. I didn't know jack diddle squat. And I left there with my mind blown, but it really did. And it really propelled my career, knowing that language and knowing what I was looking at with clients. It really changed my career for the better.
All right. I'm gonna drop the mic with that. And if you are still watching and people that are still on here right now, little announcement that number one is that there is currently a nice overhaul of the FitFixNow website taking place, which I can't wait. Will be, you know, kind of in little segments rolling out. And then the other big news is that there will be the FitFixNow app coming out as well. So there are some big things in the mix, as well as bringing this to lots of colleges around. We are the main sponsor for TexFit this year, sponsored at Texas A&M. We are sponsoring the Southeast Collegiate Fitness Conference for those of you that are colleges that are on here right now and colleges that are already on board. It is time to really up level and take it to the next level with our education. So Chan, Elian, thanks so much for dropping by. You are always welcome every month to come on and share wisdom. And, you know, we'll be doing some nice course launch media and marketing when those courses are ready to roll. But thank you so much. And I know that this was so valuable to everybody. Bye, everybody. Saying goodbye on Instagram.
Thank
Beautiful. You. Beautiful, everyone. Let's see. Now we'll do that, and now we'll stop recording. All right.